All right, welcome to episode 73 of Adventures in In-Betweening. Today I am taking another look at Miyazaki-san's classic from 1986, Castle in the Sky. I'll look at 26 seconds later on in the film.
Key, 私が臨時に指揮を取る。ロボットは北の塔の少女を狙っている。姿を現した瞬間を仕留めろ。砲弾から新艦を抜け。
Beautiful stuff. So this first shot here, we can see the foreground element here, the buzzing airship with Dola and Pazu in it, and it's moving kind of slowly across the background. This animated background, when I first saw this in animation school in 1994, I was just staggered. I was flabbergasted. Just the amount of expertise, the amount of skill and talent and pre-planning, and the knowledge of perspective, the appeal to have this animating background going past us for several seconds. So much drawing, so much that could go wrong. You can see the house here going in perspective, and it's subtle. It's not just this big, oh, we got to do this massive change. That's easy to do. This is small changes. Look at the trees on screen left there, how we reveal those. The bushes are getting bigger towards us in perspective. You can see the fence there appearing off in the distance. We're kind of looking at it in profile. And then as the fence comes closer to us, now we have more of a down shot on the fence. Look at the storyboards. I mean, Miyazaki-san's storyboards are so tight. There's so many solutions that are already there, so many problems solved. There's no reason to vary from them. Yeah, like I say, we've got the down shot on the fence. Now we have this transition on ones. The background was generally, up until that point, animated on twos, because, I mean, 12 drawings a second's enough with all that detail, animating the entire screen, basically. Now we're going over top of these cranes, or whatever birds they are. You can see the shadows on the water there. Now we're approaching the shoreline. You can see the boat and the storyboards there coming up over top of it. Now we have more of a down shot on the boat. Again, just the subtle angle changes here, the appeal, the choosing which lines to draw, because there's a lot of lines that are tailing off there, and keeping all that perspective consistently. Wow, amazing shot. Love that shot. Now this one here, there's so many problems that are solved elegantly here. We've got this sense that, okay, well, this castle's starting to crumble, these ramparts. How do we do this? Well, let's draw some effects on top of it. Here comes some rocks flying out, and we'll just have two pieces of artwork that are separating apart there. So there's not a lot of real drawing animation required. Now, the reverse angle here, you can see that the rocks are completely simplified, because now this is all being animated. Every frame of these rocks is being drawn. And when you look at these lines here, look at the detail on those lines, the consistency between the frames. That's what's helping sell this and making it not feel like, oh, well, this is suddenly, something completely different. There's still details there. That being said, this still takes so much time to draw. All these rocks, flipping, keeping it consistent, and keeping in mind, this is all painted on cells. This was, you can see there's 3 different colors used on these rocks. This is all actual paint that they mixed up, and you can see just 3 colors. There's a 4th color at the bottom left there. I kind of think that was an accident of that one, just because they're trying to keep to those same 3 colors for the rocks. Rocks are animating off there. Some rocks are starting to come up here, and that's a contrast, a bit of a color change at the end here. That's just a filming issue, I think. Again, animation is problem solving here. The idea is, okay, we've got this huge rampart falling down. How are we going to animate that? How are we going to solve that problem? So you've got a few rocks falling off there. We've got this camera shake that's vertical, but we're also panning up during the camera shake. So the idea is the entire mask is going to fall off again, the 3 colors. Just really simple. We've got our regular lit area, we've got the somewhat shadowed area, and then we've got the deep shadowed area. This big mass stays together here. This has to be really clearly broken down for the ink and paint department. When somebody's painting a cell, they're not flipping. They don't know what came before and after. So it needs to be, yeah, here's color 1, here's color 2, here's color 3. There's no digital back in 1986. Now you can see that Shita is framing the composition over here. We've got the robot coming up. That's going to create contrast with the rocks. Some rocks are falling down. She's flattening against the wall. The robot is going to come up further. Again, 3 paint colors on these rocks. You could just imagine the people with hundreds of cells, and they're just painting those 3 colors and letting them dry. Shadows are drawn on the robots here. The rocks are continuing to tumble. Arm is coming up. Look at all this major shape change, density change here. 3 colors on the rocks. Lots of little bits now. The groupings of the rocks is what sells it. When you've got one big rock, a medium rock, and a few small rocks, we don't need to have them exactly perfect every time. We just need to see the grouping moving along and animating smoothly and cleanly. Again, wonderful designs there. Look at this here with Pazu coming towards us, following the boards to the T. He's going to come towards camera, and it's all, yeah, you can see following there on the storyboards. Fabric trailing, his expression is clear. Now we're going to cut over here. Sheeta's ready to jump. Again, the storyboard's setting it all up. Look at the fire, the detail in the background here. So much going on. It's just this chaos, this danger right on the other side of her. So she's anticipating down, and then we're going to have, boom, 1 frame. Big contrast as she jumps up. 1 foot is still trailing. The other foot takes off, and now we're going to have those 2 feet overlapping. Wonderful. She hits the high point. She's going to start falling. And you can see she's falling just again, almost exactly like the storyboard. You can see the ship entering at the top there. And the ship is just barely missing her head in silhouette, keeping it nice and clear. Boom, there's Pazu coming on. Great connection between the 2 of them with the arms. Now Pazu, this is actually cheated here. It's going to slow down so we can see the connection. If Pazu was going to keep that speed, he'd be through the scene too fast. Line of action there. Sheeta's feet are dragging. Hands are grasping each other. And they're off. And just we see the fire and the threat behind. Now this shot here, we start off with the close-up here. And just again, just like the storyboards, the characters are going to be animating away from us as we're panning across this background. Now this is a massive background. So let's take a look at how long this background goes for as they fly off into the distance. And you can see again, this would have been maybe longer than my arms can go for the actual piece of background artwork that this was filmed on. All filmed on a big animation camera. Nothing digital involved here. And I love how Dola is holding, I see the ponytail flying there in the wind. I love how Dola is so strong and holding on to Pazu's pants there, and he's got his feet tucked in there as they go off into the distance. Now the background is panning on 1s, as you can see, and as they're going away from us in perspective, they're going to be animating on 2s. But we're not going to have it, so they're animating, stopping. There's going to be a strobe there. So they're just basically staying in place while the background continues past. They stay there for 2, they stay there for 2, they stay there for 2. This is all just, basic animation filming principles to avoid strobing. And it's so funny because nowadays we see that utilized in 3D as well. Saw, recently with Puss in Boots and the Spider-Verse, all these films that are using the same principles that were developed in 2D. Pan comes to a stop, continues getting smaller, all based on the boards. Beautiful stuff. Castle in the Sky, Studio Ghibli from 1986. If you haven't seen it, please, do. It comes out in theaters once in a while again. They re-release it, and it's a wonderful movie. Thanks for checking it out. Appreciate it, and we'll see you next time.